Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Rode Wireless Pro microphone system. What I want to do today is get it unboxed, get it set up and show you some of the features and benefits that it offers. I've actually been using Rode microphones for several years now. When I very first started my YouTube channel, I just had a standard camera using the microphone that was built into the camera, and I must admit that didn't last long because the audio quality was not that great when I was recording. Then the next microphone I got was this one. This is one of the original Rode microphones that I got. This is the Rode video mic. I still keep it, and I suppose it's a little bit of sentimental value because this is probably my first microphone that really started to take off with my YouTube channel. And then I realised that, again, the audio quality from if I was standing quite away from the camera wasn't as good as it could be. And that's really where I invested in this one that I'm using at the moment. As you can see, I often have this. So this is a little lavalier microphone just clipped within my shirt. So hopefully it's not too obvious. And this is the one I'm using at the moment. This is the Wireless Go 2. And I've been using this for, it must be probably 2 or 3 years now, and really impressed. A comment that some of my subscribers were making when using the original microphone, if I was stand away from the camera, was that they couldn't really hear me clearly, and that's not really the object of the exercise. I want people to be able to hear me clearly when I'm talking about a product or whatever it is, and that's really where I invested in this. And I must say, instantly I was getting positive feedback about how much better the audio quality was. So it's a no-brainer for me. If I'm looking to update the microphone, then it's always going to be a Rode, and this is one of the latest products that are on the market. So let's see what is in the box, because genuinely I've not had a look in here yet. So I will get in there. There we go. Right, so we've got a couple of cases. Now these, I've had a look, and some of the specification on this looks really good. So we've got a little safety guide in here. I'm not quite sure I'll be needing that. As I open the case, first of all, you'll see that you actually get 3 of these. So you've got 2 transmitters and you've got 1 receiver. So you've got the receiver on the right hand side here. Now it does have to go in that way. Apparently you have to pop it in there, and then the 2 transmitters will sit in there. And really the idea of this case, first of all, it does protect everything. So if you got it in a separate bag or a separate camera bag like I've got, where I carry everything around, then it's certainly not going to get damaged because it is really solid, which is always a bonus for me. So if I just take these off the front there, I'm just going to show you this. Because when it comes to charging, so each of these have a battery life of around 7 hours. I have found that with the Wireless Go 2 that I've been using it for several years, it does tend to vary a little bit. But at the moment Rode is saying that these should last around 7 hours. And when it comes to charging them, you've got the option of popping the USB lead. I'll just show you those in a moment. You can either pop the USB lead in the side here and charge it, mainly from, I suppose, from a computer or just into a separate plug. I just tend to connect mine to my computer while I'm editing the videos. But what you can also do is you can actually pop these back into the case, and it will actually charge from the case itself. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. What you can do is you can just press the button here, and what would normally happen is that the little LED light will illuminate, and that will be the status of the charge within the pack. So if it's bright green, then it means it's fully charged and ready to go. If it's amber, then it's running low, so you can really do with charging it. And if it's red, then it means it's completely flat. At the moment, because it's not been charged at all, so I'm just going to pop it and charge in a moment, so I can give you a demonstration of these in a moment. Just before I do that, I'm just going to have a look in the other case, see what we've got in this little case of goodies. First of all, we've got some magnets. Now, you might be wondering, why do we need magnets? Now, I'm just going to show you this, because this is actually a really good idea. Now, when you use the transmitter, you've got a couple of options. You can either have it nearby to you, so you could just have it sat on a table, for example. That's not really ideal. Most of the time, I'd want this nearby or actually on me. What some people do, because it's got a clip on the back, you can just clip it onto your shirt if you want to. But overall, I must say, I'm not too keen on it. It looks probably a little bit unsightly, especially compared to the little lavalier microphone. But so you can have it sat on there. Or the other option, if you didn't want it actually clipped onto your shirt, you can actually use the little magnets. So, and all that happens is you just clip this onto the back. You've got one side like that, and then using the other side. So clearly being a shirt, I've got the advantage that I can put the microphone through halfway, but sometimes people just want to wear a t-shirt, and if you got it right high up on the collar, that could be a little bit annoying. And what Rode have done, they've come up with this, and it's such a basic idea, but it's actually really good. When I first saw it, I thought it was a genius idea. So what you can do is you can actually put the magnet in here, and you can just have it clipped like that. And I say, I really like that. And I know I could clip it on my pocket if I wanted to, but if I was just wearing a t-shirt, then it's in a good position, and I could have it like that if I wanted to. Now, personally, I'm not going to use that, because what I want to do is I'm still going to use the lavalier microphone concept, because I just think it looks a little bit smarter. But if you wanted to have the microphone sat there, then you've got the option of using the magnets too. Also within this cheeky little case, we've got a couple of other charging leads. So we've got USB-C to USB-C, or we've got USB-C to Lightning as well. And also we've got this lead, and this is one that I will be using in the future. This is a 3.5mm to 3.5mm audio cable. And the idea is that you can connect this from the transmitter into the video camera. So I've got a 3.5mm input on my video camera, and this is basically the way I connect my wireless go-to at the moment. So I'm really pleased that Rode have carried that on. In the other side, we've got a soft cloth. So if you wanted to clean it, if you wanted to, yeah, that's a really nice cleaning cloth. So I must say, I'm always proud of how things are kept, or how they look. So it's always nice that Rode have thought about this. Even got the little Rode logo on there as well. And what else have we got? So we've got some different windshields in here, and some other clips. I'll cover those a bit more in a moment. And we've got some, these are the lavalier microphones. So I'm going to be using one of those. And on this one, so now what Rode have done is they've actually made them lockable. So you can just pop that, so 3.5mm into the transmitter. And normally what happens, so on the one I've got at the moment, it just sits in there. And on the rare occasion, I think it's only happened once or possibly twice, because I've got it clipped around the back of my trousers, then if I've leant over and it's just pulled out slightly, then you lose the audio, and that can be really frustrating. Whereas what Rode have done is they've realised that that might have been an issue in the past. They've actually made this lockable now. So if you just twist it like that, then it just locks it into place. That's it. And then you can't pull it out, which I think is a fantastic idea. So one of the final things in here, first of all, to the untrained eye, you might think they are little fluffy animals, but they're certainly not animals. You get 5 of these, and these are little windshields. So if you're recording outside, which personally I tend to record outside a little bit, so it's not too often that I'm recording in the outdoors. I suppose most of my recordings tend to be indoors, so I don't need to use these. But these can be really, really good, and it just helps to avoid some of the external noises. You've actually got 2 different designs. The first one here, this is where it's designed just to clip on to the microphone itself. So it's like a little hat for it. But the idea is that you're not using the lavalier mic on that one. If you did want to use it, so if you wanted to use the lavalier mic, then you get a different design. So it's got the square fitting, or rectangular, and the idea is that it just fits over there. And you know what? I really like that design. It's one of those little things that amuses me. And then just within this little bag here, we've got some other small accessories. We've got some little foam shields, and I suppose this is kind of thing that I would normally be using. And also you've got some clips. So what you can do, and this again, this is kind of thing I'm going to be using in the future. These are just shirt clips, so I can just clip that around my shirt and when I'm using the lavalier mic. But really what I'm going to do at the moment is to get the case charged up, because it's not charged at the moment. I'm going to go and grab a cup of coffee and then crack on. Now these are fully charged. If you take them out of the case, you will notice that they are actually paired already. So you can manually pair them if you want to, but I really like it that Rode have already thought about this. And as you can see from the little display on here, that everything is paired already. Now there are different ways that you can use the transmitters and the receivers. I suppose for me, majority of the time, I would only use one of the transmitters and connect it up wirelessly to the receiver. I would normally connect this via this lead, so via the 3.5mm to 3.5mm connection up to my camcorder, and for me that seems to work. If you wanted to use both transmitters at the same time, then you've actually got a couple of options. First of all, you can have it in what they call merged mode, and this is where, again, using both transmitters are combined into a single summed output. And this is great if you're using the Wireless Pro in, say, a live presentation setup or something like that, and you want the audio to be recorded onto both channels if you're recording the device. So that's where you'd use the merged mode. The other option is called split mode, and by pressing that, then that's basically where you would use, so you still use both transmitters, but what you're doing is you're actually recording it on separate channels. So you'd have a left and right channel on your Wireless Pro output, and this means that each channel can be processed individually in post-production, which is great if you're doing, say, a two-person interview and other recording scenarios where you need to be able to edit and mix each sound source independently. Next thing to show you is the adjustable gain control. Now this is actually really important to set up when you first get it. So depending on what you are going to connect, so you've got the option for camera, so if you're going to connect your camera to it, you've got your headphones with microphone attached, and then you've got the manual control as well. So if I was to, let's just go back in there, that's it. So go into that. So if I wanted to set it for the camera, now set it for the camera because that's the option that I want to select. If I press the left button at the bottom here, then this is where you access the gain, and you can see it goes from -30 and you can go all the way up to 0 decibels. So something else that I found really useful is something called the Rode Central app. Now a couple of ways you can use it. First of all, you can enable it on your computer or laptop, but personally I've started to use this on my phone. And if you want to, you can connect the individual transmitters and receivers up. If you just want to control one of them to your phone or laptop, what this will enable you to do is to control all three devices at the same time if you connect the case. So I'll just show you that. So we'll just connect that into the back, and it always takes a second or two to enable, but what you can do, you can actually see all three in one place. Now there are a lot of settings that you can change. I'm not going to go into everything, but it just enables you to have a look on the app, and as you can see we've got the transmitter and the receivers at the same time, and just toggling between the three you can change a lot of the settings. Now if you wanted to, for example, change the gain on one of them, then you've got that option, and it's just really easy. I just love it that the app here is so simple to use. Now I'll try and explain this in the best way I can, because I must admit I'm not too technical when it comes to this, but both of the Wireless Pro transmitters feature an onboard recording function, and each are capable of recording over 40 hours of 32-bit float audio from the inbuilt microphone, or even the external microphone when it's connected to a 3.5mm input. The main advantage is if your wireless signal momentarily drops out or your camera audio clips, then you've always got clean backup audio available. You could always use the onboard recordings as your primary audio source if you prefer not to record onto your camera. As I say, I'm not going to go into all the settings at the moment, but I just wanted to show you roughly what you can do through the Rode Central app on your phone, and you've got even more functionality if you connect it up to a computer or laptop. If you're as impressed as I am and you're thinking of purchasing one of these, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Rode Wireless Pro wireless microphone system. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. Now I know there's so much I could have gone into. There's so much through the app and via the laptop that I could have gone into, showing really into detail. But what I wanted to do was just give you an overview of what it can offer. And as I say, I'm going to be switching from my Wireless 2 to this one, the Wireless Pro, because I've always been impressed with the Rode products, and hopefully in the future by using this, then I'm going to carry on being impressed. If you've got any questions on it, then just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you, because I'm going to be using this from now on. Also, if you have got a Rode wireless microphone, or if you use a Rode microphone at all, let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the honest feedback. Thanks for watching.